Hey there, my Diecast family. How you guys all doing today? Hope you're doing wonderful. So, what have I got today? As you can clearly see, we're going to do a little bit of an unboxing. I got some new/old vehicles in a blister pack here that we're going to undo. And before we get into that, I just want to say once again to all my subscribers, thank you guys. Thank you for loving this content. Thank you for your great comments. It's kind of an interesting thing. I have kind of the same core group of people leave comments on almost every video, and I love that. It's almost like that's they're like the fanboys of the channel, and I love that. Every once in a while, I'll see a new face will show up in the comments. I think that's great too. So I would encourage more of you guys who aren't leaving comments. So please do that. I'm in a position right now where I can answer all of you back individually. When the channel starts getting really big with thousands of subscribers and hundreds of comments, I won't be able to do that anymore. So I'm going to be, let's take advantage of it while we can, right? While the channel's nice and small. So let's get into our video for today. I brought some old favorites back up here because I like to do, comparisons and revisiting whenever we're going to unbox, a new members of the family. So these are some Zymex castings that we're going to unbox today. We have yet another Lincoln Mark IV that has different wheels than this one does. And then we also have, one of my perennial favorites, another F-body Camaro Z28 that we're going to unbox. All right, so let's talk about these Zymex castings for a little bit. So most of these were sold under this brand here. They were called Windracers, okay? And you found these in a lot of times in drugstores tended to carry these things. I used to find these things in like Walgreens, Osco Drug, that long defunct chain called Skaggs. That we had in my area in Colorado there. I think at some point, I think Target in our area started carrying these too. But yeah, mostly I find them like in drugstores. And they always seem like they were overpriced too. I mean, you could buy a brand new, beautiful Matchbox of Hot Wheels for like 98 cents. But these guys, you go to Walgreens, they want like $1.29 for them. I always thought that just seems overpriced for these things because they're... their quality's a bit sketchy and their build quality's not that hot either. So, but you know what? I love looking at these cars and finding them mint in the box. That's like finding buried treasure. It's just so awesome to see that. And, of course I'm going to crack them open because me, I just love to do that. To me, it's more fun to have the cars, either interacting with the display or in a case with other cars. So much better than this hanging them up on the wall in the package. There are some cars I do keep in the package on the wall. There's a specific reason why I do it. But most of the time, I want them out. I want them out and interacting and just be able to pick them up and enjoy them, all right? So Windracers was one of the brands that Zymex used. They also used Rough Riders. That was mostly for like the trucks and the pickups, the SUVs, things like that. And there was also a brand called... Grippers. They were friction powered cars. You pull them back and they go shooting across the floor. And then there was also there was two types of vans. This company did some custom vans in the late 70s, early 80s. One brand was called Super Vans. The other one was called Dynamites, Mights. And my brother and I actually got a whole set of those vans for Christmas 1978, and they were stocking stuffers. And I can tell you that in less than a year's time, all those vans were broken. This shows you how bad the quality of these cars were. If you're good at display them like I do, they'll last forever. And, like I said, I brought some of the other past ones up here just kind of show you with the new ones. So we say we get an unboxing these guys. Let's start with the F-body Camaro. Since you haven't seen that one yet, let's get the Chevelle and the Mercedes off here real quick. Now, both these cars I'm going to show you, they have the later style wheels, you'll notice. This Lincoln right here, this version here, it's got the older style wheels, as you can see. So this is a style wheels when they switched over to calling their cars Pacesetters. When they went to that brand in about the middle 80s, they started using this style wheel here. So these here are both basically, if you think about it, they're both like transitionary models. This was going to be the last time they were going to offer these models. And they did it with the newer style wheels because these models, when they went to the Pacesetters brand, they discontinued them and they introduced some new models. Interestingly enough, a lot of which were muscle cars. There was like a 70 Hemi Cuda, there was a Shelby Mustang, there was a 69 GTO. There's a couple of really neat ones. I think there was a Charger too, but I can't remember for sure. So ordinarily, these are supposed to be posed with the doors open in the package, but these doors, you can see, have been closed because that's just happens sometimes as time goes by. I mean, you have to realize this is over 4 decades old, still in the blister. Now, you can see here, it's got the brand name up there. Their distributorship was out of Long Beach, California. I've been there many times. Long Beach is a pretty cool city. It's just up the road from Huntington Beach. And if you flip over on the back, you'll see some of their model offerings that they have, some of which are very interesting. Now, this is the one I want you to focus on right now. You see that little station wagon right there? Okay, that's called their Country Squire. It is indeed based on a 1975 through 1978 Ford Country Squire station wagon. And it is, without a doubt, one of the rarest, most ridiculously overpriced diecasts I've ever seen on eBay. It's also one of the worst renditions of a Country Squire I've ever seen. You thought this Rolls Royce that they did was terrible? You should see this wagon. This wagon is truly dreadfully done. I mean, I don't even want the thing. The only way I'm even going to get that thing is if I find somebody selling it for dirt cheap and it's in good condition. But they have some other cool models on here too. Like, for example, okay, you see that Mercedes right here. There's the Lincoln. We got a split window Corvette. This is a Datsun Z car right here. This looks like, I think that's a Chevy Monza, believe it or not. And then this looks like a Mustang 2 Cobra. And here's another version of the Mustang Cobra. And then this little guy right here, believe it or not, is a Pinto that they did. And that's one of the vans I was telling you about. There's the Chevelle that I have, sans the stickers, as you can see. All right. And then they did a couple classic American cars, too. There's a 56 T-Bird. You got 57 Chevy. This up here is a Coronet, another Coronet, believe it or not. A little taxi. This one, excuse me, I don't know what that one is. I can't identify that one. This is like a 79 Trans Am right here. So they had some interesting models that kind of mimicked the ones that were offered by like Yatming and also Tomica. So what do you say we unbox this? All right, let's get into it. Peel it out of this packaging here, and I'll show you a beautiful little Zymex Camaro Z28. All right. Let's open the doors. All right. Now, you've seen my Yatming Z28, the yellow one I have. This one here, believe it or not, is just a little bit nicer. We've got actual, glass T-tops. Of course, it's, obviously plastic, but, it's imitation glass. Beautiful yellow color with those stripes on there. And, yes, it's a black interior. Would have been nicer if they put a tan one in there. But, I've noticed that most of Zylmex's cars have black interiors. Black or tan. I think that's the only two colors that they would ever do. But it's a pretty nice little effort by them. And the fact that it's been packaged up for the last 4.5 decades or so, it's in pristine condition. And also, this one doesn't have a lot of casting flash. You see a little bit right here? Guys, believe me, that's nothing. I've seen much worse. Much worse than that. Got the segmented tail lamps on the back there. It's kind of funny. I was looking at this. These are painted on. These stripes on the top, but these guys on the side are stickers. So they did a combination. That's wild. And you'll notice, once again, as per Zymex and their incredible cheapness, look what's missing. There's no dashboard and no steering wheel. That just cracks me up. But then look at this. They took the time to etch a little rear view mirror in there. This blows my mind. Other than the lack of a dashboard and steering wheel, which, guys, is a pretty important part of having a car, it's actually not bad. Look at the chromed out slatted grille there. See, it's got the slatted grille, so it's probably like an 80 or 81 Camaro. And like I said, it's got the later style wheels, which I think rolled a little better, to be honest with you. And another thing about that interior, doesn't it almost look like it's pushed forward a little further than it should be? Yeah. But I was looking at the rear package tray. It's centered in there perfectly. Yeah. So yes, not a bad effort for a fairly cheesy diecast car. I just like the fact that it's a second gen F body that I didn't have before. It's really cool. All right, so we got that. Now I'm going to show you the Lincoln. You've already seen, of course, this one right here, but I'm going to show you this one because this one has the newer style wheels. Also, I want to show you something on this package too. Check this out. This is an unpunched package. You know what that means? This was never displayed on a pegboard at the store. This was just something that came out of a box fresh and then it never got displayed. So chances are, whoever the original owner of this car was, they just, got it in a box, a crate from the store, and probably got a whole bunch of other cars to go with it, and just decided to sell them. So now I got this one here. Once again, it's supposed to be posed with the doors open, but they're closed up. And now we're going to crack it open. That's right. I can hear all the purists out there moaning and groaning. Oh my gosh, no, those irreplaceable Windracers packages. As I cackle like a cartoon villain. But no, you know me, I take very good care of my diecast cars. All right, so here we go. Let's move this guy over just a little bit. That way I have a space to put this one. Okay, so here we go. The later version of the Lincoln Continental Mark IV. It's kind of funny. So they were selling this probably around, 1984, 1985, give or take. This was the automotive equivalent of her leisure suit by then. The fact that they got it casting like this. But you know what, though? You can't beat it. It's actually pretty cool. So you see the wheel difference, very clear. And, so this is the earlier car from like 1981. And, you can tell, you really can tell. Check this out. So this casting, this tooling was getting very worn out by this stage. You see right here, see that right there, that little defect? That's where the metal didn't quite fill in. And I remember that being a problem on this Lincoln. I've seen a couple of these Lincolns where there was a very noticeable hole right here in this fender. It actually looks like one strap start there, but that could also be a paint blemish too. But other than that, you see it's in pretty decent shape. This one actually, they gave it a steering wheel and some rudimentary type of a dashboard. Looks like we've got a paint blemish on the roof there. You see that? Now I might be able to buff that out, but this paint's pretty thin, so I have to be very careful. Actually, this whole car feels kind of gritty. Actually, that is amazing. 40 years in a package and it's coming out feeling gritty like that. Fit and finish is also not as good as on my earlier car. You kind of compare the back end. See, the gaps on the back end of the later car here are just a little bit worse. So yeah, not quite as well done. Yeah, see this big gap here with the window? Yeah, you really can see where all the tooling was starting to get a little worn out by this point. There's actually quite a couple paint blemishes on this car. I wonder if I can fix all those. I'll try. But yeah, that's pretty wild. So there you go. There's a chassis there. Continental Mark IV. It's very shiny. It should be after, just sitting in there for all those years. Not bad. Yeah, it's kind of neat to get the other version with the, updated wheels there. And I'm actually kind of glad I found this version here with the updated wheels, because this Camaro actually looks good with these wheels. Yeah, very nice. And his doors actually close pretty well. Let's try the doors on this one. There we go. So there we have it, my diecast fans. Having fun with some more cheap diecast cars. Unboxed for your viewing entertainment. All right. Well, in the meantime, guys, I want you to enjoy life, take care of yourselves. God bless you all. And we'll see you in that next video.